Escaped convict James L. Ray pled guilty to the assassination of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. on March 10, 1969. King was shot and killed while standing on the balcony outside his hotel room in Memphis, Tennessee, on April 4th, 1968. This also, by the way, led to the death of a hotel worker, Lorraine Bailey, who was the wife of the motel owner and whom it was named after. Upon seeing King shot, she had a heart attack and later died. This was partially why there was such a delay in getting an ambulance, as Lorraine was also the operator of the switchboard, and so when Reverend Samuel Carls attempted to call an ambulance using the phone in the motel room, nobody was at the switchboard to make that happen. 3 days after pleading guilty, Ray claims that he was innocent and attempted to withdraw his previous plea, insisting that it had been set up and that he was just a pawn in a larger conspiracy. His motion, well, that was denied. The night Dr. King was shot, a rifle was discovered a block away from the Lorraine motel where the assassination had taken place. As the investigation continued over the next few weeks, all of the evidence, the rifle, fingerprints, and eyewitness accounts, they pointed to one suspect, petty criminal James L. Ray. Ray, who had escaped from a Missouri prison in 1967 while serving time for robbery, became the target of a massive manhunt in May of 1968. He had procured a Canadian passport under a false name and was apprehended at London Airport on June 8, 1968. Ray admitted that he was trying to make his way to Rhodesia, which is now Zimbabwe. On the advice of his attorney, the high-profile criminal defense lawyer Percy Foreman, James L. Ray entered a guilty plea to the murder of Dr. Martin Luther King in order to avoid being sent to the electric chair. Mr. Foreman insisted that Ray sign each page of the letter in which he recommended that his client plead guilty. Part of the letter stated, "In my opinion, there is a little more than 99% chance of your receiving a death penalty verdict if your case goes to trial." A few days later, Ray purported that he had met a man named Raoul in 1967 who had drawn him into a gun-running operation. When MLK was murdered, Ray stated that he realized he was being set up to take the fall for the crime and he hightailed it to Canada. The judge, though, he wasn't buying it, so his motion to change his plea was denied, as were his numerous requests for another trial over the years. Coretta Scott King, MLK's widow, and their children, they grew to believe that there may have been something to his story, or at least that he might actually be innocent. Martin Luther King Jr. was continually harassed by unremitting wiretapping and intimidation by J. Edgar Hoover's FBI during the final years of his life. His outspoken anti-war stance and call for guaranteed incomes for all Americans hardly endeared King in the upper echelons of the US government during the post-Kennedy era. For instance, there was a memo circulated throughout the FBI offices after the Dream speech. It read, "In the light of King's powerful demagogic speech yesterday, he stands head and shoulders over all other Negro leaders put together when it comes to influencing great masses of Negroes. We must mark him now, if we have not done so before, as the most dangerous Negro of the future in this nation from the standpoint of communism, the Negro, and national security." The FBI later discovered that King was supposedly having numerous affairs and sent him various anonymous letters stating such things as, "You are a colossal fraud and an evil, vicious one at that," and they threatened to blackmail him. In another anonymous letter, supposedly from the FBI, they stated, "The American public, the church organizations that you have been helping, Protestants, Catholics, and Jews, will know you for what you are, an evil beast. So will others who have backed you. You are done, King. There is only one thing left for you to do. You know what it is. You have just 34 days in which to do. This exact number has been selected for a specific reason. It has a definite practical significance. You are done. There is but one way out for you. You better take it before your filthy, fraudulent self is bared to the nation." Many of the FBI's surveillance records, written and audio records as well, concerning King are currently held in the National Archives, but they're sealed from public access until 2027. Needless to say, many a conspiracy theorist believes that it isn't a stretch to think that the FBI had a hand in King's murder. That said, since the assassination, this crime's been re-examined on numerous occasions by the U.S. Justice Department, the House Select Committee on Assassinations, and the Shelby County, Tennessee's District Attorney's Office. It all came to the same conclusion. James L. Ray shot and killed Martin Luther King Jr. on April 4th, 1968. The House Select Committee did concede that a conspiracy may have existed, including the participation of one or more accomplices in addition to Ray, although there was no hard evidence to prove this theory. According to Ray's family and friends, aside from the physical evidence such as the rifle and the fingerprints, he also had a compelling motive to commit the crime, and that was overt racism. Those close to him also insisted that he often spoke of his plan to assassinate this renowned civil rights leader. In the end, James L. Ray, he was sentenced to 99 years in prison, and he died in prison in 1998. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button and do not forget to subscribe. This is a new channel, so your subscription really does help. And hit that notification button if you want to know when we put out a new video like this. It's a new channel, so leave us a comment as well to let us know how we're doing. And as always, thank you for watching.